I've been playing Discounty for about 15 hours now, and I love this game. Thank you to Crinkle Cut and P-Cube for the review code. This is a supermarket management game. You have come to town because your aunt wants you to take control of her business and run it, expand it. I'm only in the midst of chapter 2. And to be honest, sometimes while I'm playing, I just get lost in the store management loop that I just kind of forget about some of the story stuff. And that loop is very, very addictive. And I feel like even if someone were to feel that monotony start to creep in, there are challenges and then perks that feel really rewarding. Some of which are just new foods, but those new foods feed into the addictive loop of figuring out how you want things organized and the best way to optimize it so when a customer comes in, they hit like the most expensive stuff first, and even though it may not be on their list, they'll make that impulse purchase, and then you have these boosters that you put all around them, and that can up the appeal of it, make them want to buy it more, as well as different types of shelves and coolers that will also up the appeal of an item, and just the min-maxing of everything. I can't get enough. But circling back to those perks again, other than food, you have things like extra pocket space. Everyone loves more inventory in a game. And then there's the scanner. I mostly played this game on Steam Deck, and the controls for the keypad that you type in the prices for, fantastic. But after a while, especially when expanding the amount of items that I was selling in my store, it became quite a chore to have to flip through the pages or memorize the different prices. With the scanner, you're just memorizing the direction of the barcode for the different categories of foods. And I've already hit a point where I know exactly this is processed, this is animal product, this is drink, and I know which way to point it in order to get that scan and check people out really fast. I have way less angry customers now that I've unlocked the scanner. This game is truly a full-time job. And like I said before, I mainly played it on the Steam Deck. And as for performance, it's good. Overall, you're not gonna run into too many hiccups. The only time I really did is when running around town. So I'd exit my house, start running, and the game would really start to chug and frames would drop for some reason. And really the only bad thing I have to say about the game right now in the spot that I'm in is that there are these extra little moments you can have with each of the characters. I'm blanking on what the game actually calls them, but there are glowing objects in the world, and when you interact with them, you have a moment play out with one of the main townspeople. And you get a little bit of backstory to that character, or some of their inner thoughts, what they're going through. But I don't really find that it holds much weight in the story. It seems like there are 3 for each character, and maybe once you hit all 3, that will do something, but it doesn't really influence how you interact with them in the store, or maybe what things you stock, because you learned something about them through that little flashbacky type moment. And it's also a little weird and jarring because there's kind of this disconnect where you were just with them, but suddenly you're not, and you're re-walking in, and they have no memory of just talking to you. So they're, it's just kind of hey, what are you doing here? Or it's just a little awkward. So I guess that could be eliminated by doing that specific type of story moment separate from a different story moment. But that's my only small caveat. It's kind of nice to have it there, especially if you really want to dig into the lore of this world and its characters, but it just doesn't feel like it holds enough weight to be there. But yeah, 15 hours in, and honestly, I can't wait to put in 15 hours more, or even more than that, and what's coming up in the future DLC wise or something. It's a good time, and I'm really not planning on putting it down anytime soon. Do you plan on picking up Discounty? Did you play the demo? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.